Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 4. I am Frank Sizadate, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu addresses Nigerians on June 12th. Tav Media and Associates hold 10th anniversary Thanksgiving of Planet 101.1 FM. Plus, 3 dead in U.S. mass shooting. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us. We begin the news this afternoon with Nigeria's leader, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was addressed Nigerians on the occasion of the 2023 Democracy Day today. Addressing Nigerians, President Tinubu said the heroes of democracy paid the supreme price for the gains enjoyed in the country currently. Tinubu said the 2023 general elections showed that democracy is well alive in Nigeria. According to him, the beauty of democracy is that winners today can lose tomorrow, and losers today can win elections tomorrow.
It is exactly 3 decades today that Nigerians went to the polls to exercise their inalienable right to elect a president of their choice to lead the transition from military dictatorship to a representative government of the people. The abortion by the military fiat of the decisive victory of Chief MKO Abiola of the defunct Social Democratic Party in the June 12, 1993 presidential election, up to that time, the fairest and the freest election in the country's political evolution, turned out, ironically, to be the seed that germinated into the prolonged struggle that gave birth to the democracy we currently enjoyed since 1999. In rising to strongly oppose the arbitrary annulment of the will of the majority of Nigerians, as expressed in that historic election, the substantial number of our people who participated in the struggle to annul the election signified their fierce commitment to enthroning democracy as a form of government that best enables the liberty, the dignity of individual, and integrity, as well as the stability of the polity. The fierce opposition to the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election and unrelenting pro-democracy onslaught.
In the meantime, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu today inspected the Guard of Honor at the forecourt of the Presidential Villa in Abuja as part of activities to mark the 2023 Democracy Day, marked annually on June 12th. It is the President's first Democracy Day in office, and Democracy Day is celebrated yearly on June 12 in honor of the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, the late Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale MKO Abiola, and other heroes of democracy. Among the dignitaries present include Vice President Kashim Shettima, Secretary to the Government of the Federation George Akume, Service Chiefs, former Secretary to the Government of the Federation Babagana Kinkibe, and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. Others are the President of the 9th Senate Ahmed Lawan, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC Adamu, APC National Secretary Iola Omisore, among other top government officials. While President Ahmed Bola Tinubu says court orders issued to truncate Nigeria's democracy will no longer be tolerated. He said this on the occasion of the 2023 Democracy Day today. According to him, politicians have obtained court orders to overturn the electoral victories of opponents and occupy offices, noting that illegal orders will not be condoned. The president, while noting that Democracy Day is celebrated yearly on June 12 in honor of the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale MKO Abiola, and all the heroes of democracy, said the recent harmonization of the retirement age for judicial officers is meant to strengthen the rule of law. In a related development, the National Democratic Coalition Renewal Group, NADECO RG, has said that President Bola Tinubu's inauguration on May 29 has set the Nigerian family on the path of meaningful recovery, rehabilitation and progress. NADECO RG national leader Atilade Adeoyo, who said things had been moving in the right direction of restoration of hope since the new president assumed office, said Tinubu and the winner of the June 12, 1993 election, late Moshood Abiola, had several traits and as well the vision of restoring the country's prosperity and rehabilitation in common. In NADECO RG, which described June 12 as a significant day in Nigeria, said, on the occasion of 2023 Democracy Day, Tinubu's achievement as Lagos State Governor alongside his team of technocrats will ensure a great development of the country. Back here, TAV Media and Associates, owners of Planet FM, Thanks Year FM and Spectrum Television, yesterday celebrated its 10th Thanksgiving anniversary of Planet 101.1 FM, Uyo, at Destiny Mission Global Assembly in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital. Our correspondent, Esther Otoyo, has the details.
Service, the guest minister, Professor Ashung, urged Christians to know that it is impossible to please God except through faith, noting that life of possibility comes only when an individual takes God seriously.
Your possibilities begin with what you believe. Do you believe that God deserves your worship? That's where the worship really begins. I'm coming because I believe he deserves it. I'm giving it to him because I know this is his due.
The chairman, TAF Media and Associates, Tony Afia, in an interview, thanked God for 10 years of success story of Planet FM. He encouraged the public to obtain electricity license from the state government so everyone can contribute to the development of the state by providing electricity to some needed areas in the state.
First of all, today, I know it's not been easy to be here for 10 years. Particularly, most of you know about our road, and that road is still there. President Bola Tinubu has assented to the electricity bill passed in July 2022. It was passed during the Buhari regime. It did not sign into law, seeking to repeal the Electricity and Power Sector Reform Act of 2005. It becomes the Electricity Act of 2023. The Electricity Act now consolidates all legislative dealings with the electricity supply industry to provide an omnibus and ideal institutional framework to guide the post-privatization phase of the Nigerian electricity supply. It's called NESI, and encourage private sector investment in that sector.
Also, the general manager of TAF Media and Associates, Sunday Edit, the head of Spectrum Television, Oruwese Olusegun, and other staff expressed appreciation to God for the sustainability of Planet FM and shared their experience.
And from the very onset, brought us to being the envy of the competition. The experience has been wonderful. We've had all this classic kind of staff and personnel that has taken us to where we are today.
I want to tell you that the short time that I've gotten to experience TAF Media owners of Planet being the oldest asset, it's been wonderful.
I'm really grateful to God for taking us this far. With everything happening, we've had to re-strategize, but we have ensured that we keep showing up.
We've had our own fair share of challenges. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. But rising from here, we're asking God for more strength for us to move forward, deliver the dividends of broadcasting to the people. It's been a wonderful celebration. I must say thank you to the chairman of TAF Media Group, Tony Afia.
Oh, Planet FM, very interesting. I love the program. I love all the staffs. I love all the representation and everything that is going on. I'm so excited to be among them.
So I want them to inspire others since they were the first indigenous stations in this state. So
Other well-wishers who spoke at the event described Planet 101.1 FM as one of the best and #1 private radio in Uyo. While commenting on the radio programs, they encouraged the media platform to continue to be independent and unbiased in their reportage.
In a nutshell, Planet has placed Akwa Ibom State on the world map because a lot of persons actually didn't know about Akwa Ibom State, but Planet gave us a spotlight.
I know that Planet FM is one of the radio stations that is on ground in Akwa Ibom State here. Not only in Akwa Ibom State, I believe they should be going viral in other states. So they have been on ground over the years with mind-blowing programs, fantabulous ones. So I'm not innocent of their presence and good activities here in the state. The Planet FM has to be independent. The Planet FM has been independent over the years, so the continuous independence, giving people the freedom of expression.
High point of the event was Thanksgiving by management and staff of TAF Media Group and musical performance by Reverend Mbaseki Ayomobi. Esther Otoyo reporting for Spectrum Television.
Meanwhile, residents of the Akwa Ibom State capital have called on Nigerian leaders to address the issues surrounding Nigerian economy as Nigerians mark Democracy Day today. Speaking of Spectrum Television, they described democracy as government for the people, calling on the current administration, but at the federal and state level, to ensure that they put in place appropriate measures to reduce the effect of subsidy removal on the masses.
We have all the capacities that we need to advance as the giant of Africa, but for whatever reason, I don't know why everything is just slowing down. So I think what our leaders should do is to be sincere with themselves and not be selfish. Let them consider the masses. Let them consider, okay, like look at the issue of subsidy removal. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing out there. In fact, Nigeria has been selling the cheapest of fuel around at least for as far as I can know, around Africa. They are selling the cheapest. But if you want to remove it, what have you put in place to alleviate the sufferings of the people before doing that?
Okay, I just feel that democracy is a government for the people, by the people. So generally, they should allow the people choose who they want to lead them. I didn't say they did not choose this one, no. I'm just saying they should allow people, whoever comes into an office should not be imposed on people. Future, maybe next 4 years election, anytime there's an election, not just in the government, even in primary schools, secondary schools, anywhere there's a selection and election process, it should be democracy. If we are doing anointing and appointment and selection, we will know. But if it is election by the people, people come out, thousands of people come out, plan their life, some cancel their weddings for elections. Let it count.
For me, democracy is simple. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So what Tinubu and Umoino, let me start with Umoino. If you listen to his Arise agenda, of which I followed throughout the electioneering process, he actually talked about a revolution in agriculture and other things. So for me, what they should do in this era of modern democracy, first of all, is to create an enabling environment in the state for businesses, small and medium enterprise to excel. There should be that enabling environment in terms of security, in terms of power, road infrastructure, and other infrastructures. Now, in the case of the presidency, that's the federal government, I think Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu should also follow same. It's not about the audio dividends of democracy. People should be able to see it. It should be visible. It should be audible, that citizens can actually testify that indeed there should be that dividends of democracy in terms of development, especially in the area of education.
We have all the capacity.
In the meantime, as this year's World Day Against Child Labor is celebrated around the globe today with the theme Social Justice for All and Child Labor, people have been advised on the negative effect of child labor and the need to invest more in children's academics life. Speaking with Spectrum Television on the need to eliminate child labor, residents of the Akwa Ibom State capital stated that the day serves as an important reminder that countless children continue to endure abusive and hazardous working conditions, noting that the day is of utmost significance because it aims at ending child labor across the globe.
I think what government need to do in terms of child labor is they should really go to the grassroots, because we only have the issues of child labor awareness in towns and cities. So if the government can come up with an agency that will go down to the grassroots. During campaigns, we see government, they go to every door, nooks and cranny. But when it comes to things like this, they only focus on the elite. So if they can expand their tentacles to go down to the villages to educate them in local dialects, not just in English, explain to them the disadvantage of not having quality education or quality welfare for your children. So you have to just see how you can have that family planning, and we need to increase more health centers for the locals.
Government should make a policy that between the hour of 7 and 12, if you are a child, if you are seen in the street hawking, all right, that child should be picked up. Possibly the parents should be arrested. As a father, as a mother, you should try to get them. So these policies, when put in place, will ensure that the children are out of the streets, back to school. There's nothing wrong coming back from school and running business, but when you are actually in the street, roaming around the street during school hour, it's something that government need to make a policy either to protect these children from malhandling of the parents or guardians or caregivers. So that's what I think the government should do. There should be that policy, and then they should invest in education.
Like I said, policies, and also making sure that the people who are culprits are dealt with, and the public should know about it, because most times when these crimes are committed, they are put behind bars and more publicity is not done for people to know about it. But at least when it's publicized, people get to know that when this is done, that.
Moving now to Africa, where a delegation of European leaders has promised over $1 billion of financial assistance to Tunisia as part of a proposed wider agreement encompassing action to tackle immigration. The head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, the Prime Ministers of Italy and the Netherlands, Giorgia Meloni and Mark Rutte, have been holding talks with President Kais Saied. Von der Leyen said the EU would provide Tunisia with over $100 million this year for border management, search and rescue, and returning migrants. She stressed that both sides wanted to break what she called the cynical business model of people smugglers. Still in Africa, the United States and Saudi Arabia have condemned the resumption of violence in the Sudanese capital Khartoum, where residents have reported airstrikes and exchanges of artillery fire. In a joint statement, the two countries noted that the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces had controlled their forces during a 24-hour ceasefire, and it was deeply disappointing that fighting had resumed. A pro-democracy neighborhood group said shells had landed in people's homes in the south of the capital following the expiry of the ceasefire. One resident who was awoken by the sound of fighting said the one-day lull on Saturday was like a dream that had now vanished. On the foreign scene, around 13,000 people have reportedly been evacuated in northeast Philippines as the country's most famous volcano, Mayon, continued to ooze lava. The country's chief volcanologist, Teresito Bacocol, said more people could be evacuated if Mayon's unrest intensifies in the coming days. Bacocol added that the volcano is currently under the third highest warning in a 5-tier system that forecasts the threat of a hazardous or explosive eruption. Reports say Mayon is among the country's most active volcanoes. It has grown restive in recent weeks with more frequent earthquakes and rocks falling from its crater. Still on the foreign scene, at least 3 people were feared dead, while 3 got injured in a mass shooting at a house in Maryland's capital city. Annapolis Police Chief Edward Jackson told reporters at a media briefing that the shooting came from what he called an interpersonal dispute. Jackson, however, assuaged the fear of the people about a further threat to the public. He declined to elaborate on the relationship among the people involved, but said those killed ranged in age from their 20s to their 50s. He said authorities had not established a concrete motive for the shooting. And still to come in the news, Djokovic wins 3rd French Open for record 23rd Grand Slam title. To stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now to the concluding part of us news stories. On the business news, the central parity rate of the Chinese currency renminbi or the yuan weakened 97 pips to 7.1212 against the dollar today, according to the China Foreign Exchange Trade System. Reports say in China's spot foreign exchange market, the yuan is allowed to rise or fall by 2% from the central parity rate each trading day. Meanwhile, the central parity rate of the yuan against the dollar is based on a weighted average of prices offered by market makers before the opening of the interbank market each business day. Still in business, total taxes and production in the economy rose by 112.02% from 1.43 trillion naira in 2019 to 3.03 trillion naira in 2022, coinciding with a value-added tax hike from 5% in 2020 to 7.5% in 2022. This is contained in the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) Nigerian Gross Domestic Product Report Expenditure and Income Average for the years under review. The NBS defines net taxes on products as the total taxes payable on products minus any subsidies received for the products prior to the implementation of the new VAT administration. New taxes on products total 1.47 trillion naira in 2019. Commenting on the growth of the net taxes on products, the NBS said that on a year-on-year basis, net taxes on products grew in real terms by 10.30% in quarter 3 of 2022 and 11.18% in quarter 4 of 2022, compared to 6.22% and 67.99% in quarter 3 and quarter 4 of 2021. We move to health, where the National Health Insurance Authority (NHIA) has said individuals and groups can have access to health insurance through the group, individual and family social health insurance program that will save them from paying for treatment when the need arises. Coordinator, NHIA Yaba State Office Rita Chiku spoke during an event organized for MDAs with the theme Universal Health Coverage, Mitigating the Challenges of Healthcare Service Delivery in Lagos State. The event was attended by some workers of MDAs, health practitioners and enrollees, among others. The event, she noted, was organized to enlighten its enrollees on their benefit package on the NHIA and to know their rights. Dr. Hamid Obani of the Standards and Quality Assurance Division of NHIA Yaba State Office, explaining the essence of having health insurance, said, naturally, when people have access to health care, they are easily diagnosed when they feel unwell. We move to sports, where Novak Djokovic has created history after capturing a record-breaking 23rd Grand Slam title with a 3rd French Open triumph, reinforcing his case to be crowned the greatest player of all times. The 36-year-old Serb brushed off an early wobble to defeat Casper Ruud of Norway 7-6, 6-3, 7-5, and snapped the tie of 22 slams he shared with career-long rival Rafael Nadal. A victory for the third time in Paris after 2016 and 2021 adds to his 10 Australian Open titles, 7 at Wimbledon and 3 at the US Open. Reports say Djokovic is the first man to win all 4 majors at least 3 times and is once again halfway to the first calendar Grand Slam since Rod Laver in 1969. On our entertainment news, Nigerian Afrobeat singer David Adeleke, also known as Davido, has admitted that the successes of his colleagues such as D'banj, P-Square and Wizkid inspired him to do music. He said this in a recent interview with Omega. The Atlanta-born singer said they already knew Wizkid, Wanda Cole and D'banj before moving back to Nigeria. Davido said because his dad is wealthy, he started off as a star, adding that many A-list artists already knew him before he blew up. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 4. I am Francis Edit. Many thanks for being there and happy Democracy Day.